Homelessness is an unfortunate issue within the United States. From the outside, a homeless shelter may appear to be the solution to the problem, but the issue doesn't stop there. Director of local Gainesville homeless shelter Grace Marketplace, John DeCarmine, explains the purpose of Grace.
When we set up Grace, our primary goal was to make sure that we were setting up our expectations in a way that allowed the most people possible to come in and receive services rather than keeping people out.
DeCarmine says Grace's expectations open doors for more homeless individuals.
We don't monitor people per se. People are free to come and go as they please up until a certain point. Our gates are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then for people who have a shelter bed, they have to be in by 10:30. So if you leave after 10:30, then we assume that you're gone for the night and we'll give your bed to somebody else.
DeCarmine wants to remind the community that homeless individuals may have gone through hardships that result in their homelessness.
It's important for people to remember that a homeless shelter is part of a process and it's not a destination. Nobody wants to end up in this crisis of being without a safe place to call home. The important thing to remember is as people come in, people have experienced trauma, they're in crisis, and sometimes what it looks like on the outside is not necessarily an accurate representation of what somebody's really dealing with.
What is being done for the homeless is not enough for DeCarmine, but he says the community just keeps giving.
There's always more that we can do. On one hand, the stuff that is difficult to find funding for is enough staffing for a campus of this size. But on the other hand, we've got this great community who has contributed an endless amount of resources.
Family Promise is a program for the homeless that allows an extended stay while bettering themselves. Director Jane Morosky says Family Promise has helped many since doors have opened.
Family Promise is about 200 chapters around the country, and so the Gainesville chapter has been in operation since 1998 and helped about 1,500 people out of homelessness.
Morosky says homeless on the outside is not what's on the inside.
I think people's notion of who is homeless and what that's like is challenged every day because the people here are resilient and amazing and positive and working full-time, sometimes 3 jobs. I'm not sure that I would be able to handle the stress that they're under.
Family Promises program is meant to be short and sweet, and Morosky says the staff has expectations that residents must uphold.
It's a 90-day program. Sometimes they're only here for a week or 2 while they need a little bit of help, but it is 90 days where we hope you have a job within 30 days, and then the next 2 months you can save up to have the funds you need to pay your rent.
Previous homeless woman and graduate of Family Promises program, Shantae Bly, says all she needed was some assistance.
I just needed some help. Me and my son needed a place to stay, and we needed someone to help us get back on our feet, and we needed resources for food, daycare, and finding work.
Bly says having a son makes her situation different rather than if she weren't a parent.
Well, it was hard not having a steady place to stay, especially when trying to find work and having a son. I was also in school at the same time. He was with me while I was trying to study, and it was very difficult.
Although homelessness is decreasing within our community, it still remains. These programs within shelters may need assistance with new tactics to make a drastic change to decrease the unfortunate number of homeless individuals. Kiana Robinson, WUFT News.